Hello everyone. So I was looking at the question which was there in the quiz, and it asked you to identify the issues with this ladder logic. So the program was the logic is such logic is for this turning on the mixture motor. And then, so this was the description. So mixture motor will come on 5 seconds after either of the normally open start push buttons are pressed and released. Okay. So there is a delay like of 5 seconds. And then it says further, it says a green light will be on when the motor is running and a red light will be on if the motor is not running or an e-stop button is pressed, right? So it's a pretty simple ask, and this was given as a ladder logic in which you needed to identify uh, issues, right? And it was 7 points question. So ideally, you would have identified 7 issues with or errors uh, with this logic. Okay. um, I found out like many issues, and in fact this is not even uh, performing. I even simulated that and change the logic as well. So I'll come back to this logic later on, but let me identify some of the issues here, which is available in the by looking at the program itself. I can identify some issues, right? So if I go back to the question, so very first thing I could see is that, so this is the default state, right? So default state of the program is like when you are starting the program, and when there is no push buttons are pressed in the system, at that time you should see the status coming up. So very first thing status should come up is that when you start the program, when you are not pressing any button, the red light should come on, right? Because the motor is not running. Okay, so that is first indication that there is something wrong here. Okay, the second indication is that it says that they are using like a timer with 5 seconds. So, and you can see this is not 5 seconds, this is 50,000 milliseconds or 50 seconds, right? So this is the second issue I can identify. The third is like this. So when I have stop buttons, uh, everybody knows that stop button, if you put them in parallel, there is no purpose served, because what we want is we want to stop the motor, first of all, mixture motor, when you hit any of this stop button, right? So it should be in series. So that is the third issue I can see identified. Then coming to the start push buttons. So when I look at the push buttons, like there are two start push button. One is from the operator, second is the remote. This is okay to keep them in parallel. And then it's further said in this description is that, like, when I press the start push button and when I release it, it should start the motor. But when I release it, everybody knows that, like, I need to latch this, right? I need to latch this by this the output, right? Versus here it says cycle beat instruction, or some other tag is used. So this is not correct as well. So this is another fourth error I could find, where you have to use the same tag here. And then on top of it, like it further says that this is XIO, like close one. XIO, I would keep it XIC, correct? Because I want to latch it when, if I press any start button, this run goes on and I should be able to latch this, right? So this is, like, as I've said, one, fourth error. And further, if I come back. This is correct. Cycle enable, and then I would do the green light turn on. But I would like to turn this green light when I mean this seems okay, but like problem is what will happen is that if I press the start button, cycle enable will be energized, closing this, um, turning this light on. But I want to turn this light on after 5 seconds of delay, right? So instead of cycle enable, how about using the cycle delay timer done bit? So after 5 seconds, this energizes and give you the green light. And the same logic I can use here as well. Instead of the enable bit, I can use the um, I can use the done bit to turn on the motor, right? Uh, then that question that ask brings up another point, that why should I use start push button and stop push button here if I have cycle enabled available energized because of the starting of any of these push buttons, right? Start push button from operator or remote. So this is redundant. This is not required as well. So this will keep cycle enable. We'll change this to ton because that makes logical sense that when this is energized, when you start the push button, when this cycle enable is energized, timer starts for 5 seconds. After 5 seconds, done bit is enabled. If I use done bit here, mixture motor will be start as well, right? So that makes sense, and the green light will turn on. Um, Coming here, so if I have stop here, right, in series, if I drop this cycle enabled, uh, or if I use this mixture motor here, I don't need this, because when I stop this, cycle enable will be energized. It will stop the mixture um, motor, and then real light should turn on. So this is also a clumsy logic here. So I think I would like to clean this up as well. So based on what I identified, I had written down the issues in my notepad. I'll show it over here, right? So I could identify 8 issues, actually, errors, where you have like, well, first is stop push buttons are not in their default states. Normally closed push buttons should be XIO. Stop push buttons should be in series and not in parallel. No need of cycle beat. Instead use cycle enabled beat. For the cycle enabled should be XIC to latch the start push buttons. TOF timer should be changed to TON, and timers done bit should be used to turn on the motor. No need of both start buttons shown in parallel to turn on the red PL. Only mixture motor output contact is sufficient. And then 7th is mixture motor output contact should be XIO. Timer count should be 5,000 and not 50,000. So based on these issues identified, I created another program, which is this, very neat and clean. So as you can see, I'm in remote run. I'm using my emulator here. So I'm in remote run. So when I start this program, you should see what's happening here. Start is not pressed, correct? Stop buttons are in their default normally close uh, situation, meaning if I toggle this, it should go 0, right? It should show me value 0, and that is what we want in the program. So this stop push buttons are in series. Start remote and operator start buttons are in parallel, and then I use cycle enabled bit coming from here. So and then cycle enabled is used to start this timer. Timer done bit is used to energize the mixture motor. At the same time, green enlightening the green light. And in the default state, when your motor is not running, your red light should be on, and that's what we have here right now. The red light is on. So now if I start this, right? If I start this any of this start operator start push button or remote start push button, toggle this beat, you will see that this cycle enable energizes, this timer has started counting. um, After the 5-second delay, this turn on, mixture motor turn on, green light turn on, red light turn off, right? In fact, I should keep I mean, this should be released as well. Okay, so let's do that again. So I'll stop everything, release the make this normal as well. Stop push button, not press, a normal close position, and then I will toggle this beat start, and then I will release as well, just to simulate what is being asked. You can see that this still work, even this is not even this is released, because the cycle enable is still latching, keeping this mixture motor on. um, so the mixture motor started after 5 seconds, as you can see. Let me rerun this. Stop. Let's make this normal in the field. Let me start using remote start push button, right? And then toggle the beat. This is counting. The mixture motor went to on, green light turn on, red light drop, right? So if I want to stop this motor using any of this stop push button, I will go here, toggle the beat, right? And you can see that motor has stopped running, green light turn off, and red light turn on, right? So pretty crystal clear um, solution. So I was like expecting the answers somewhere near to this. I know there was little, I thought I had given like 30 minutes time, and people just went through the, quickly through this question, but it was deeply thoughtful. Some things we should have identified very clearly. For example, stops are in, they were in parallel, they should be in series. um, Whether stop should be xic or xio, default should be always thought about. You should think wisely on that. If I am having a latch, the latch should always be the bit or tag used for enabling purpose. There was no need for an extra tag cycle beat. um, and then if I'm having the description telling me that the if I go back to my question, if it is asked to uh, turn on, it says, a mixture motor will come on 5 seconds after, right? So if I understand this with respect to my thought process about whether I should use turn or off, right? I can think in timing diagram world where um, if I am enabling, so if I draw a timing diagram of the coil versus the timing. So when the coil is energized, when you get the enable signal, I want my motor to be energized after 5 seconds, right? So, and everybody knows that when you have a rising edge, positive triggered or up triggered one, um, I should always use tone, right? Because I'm delaying the operation of turning on the motor, right? And this is my enable bit. I'm actually counting, I'm delaying this on, like phenomena, turning on a motor after 5 seconds, right? So it's a pretty obvious choice to use the tone, right? Okay, so I think that made clear everything. I hope you learned something out of this. Awesome, thank you.